גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Almost Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and we're not streaming right now, but we will be shortly, we hope. Let's turn to the middle of page 124 of a prayer book, page 1 of the Satellite Siddur for those joining us by live stream, but we don't have anybody right now. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. Please join me. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Almost Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and welcome to our Shabbat service. We don't have anybody on streaming right now. Hopefully we will have shortly. I'm happy to be here sharing the bima with my friend, Dr. Jonathan, who has lousy handwriting, but I think that's what he learned in doctor school. So welcome everybody to Shabbat services. I hope you all had a great week as we come together to celebrate this Shabbat as a family. There are several times during the service where we may ask you to please rise. What we really mean is please rise if you're able to. Otherwise, please remain comfortably seated. I'd like to call on Sarah Bergman and maybe Denise.
By the way, did you ever see a dog right?
No. Thank you, Sarah.
O source of light and truth, creator of eternal law of goodness, help us find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives.
Yeah,
That
bring it up
microphone.
closer. Hey, you got it was my mic. Go ahead, bring it up. You got it.
Hello? Okay.
Get close. You get close to it. There you go.
Okay. Let's continue reading together.
Bless all
Bless
who
all
enter
those who enter the sanctuary in need,
all
all who
bring the offerings of their hearts.
Yeah.
May our worship
Worship
lead us to acts
of
of kindness, peace, and love.
Yes, please. I don't want to sit down on fire. Okay. Sometimes that works. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbos.
Amen. Let's turn to page 125 of our prayer books. Where has the week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat Abad. Please join me. Help us, Lord, in the flight of time. contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter the world this day. On this day, Shabbat Avad. May these Shabbat hours of rest and renewal now begun open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle to find rest on this day, may all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise for all.
And we continue now on page 142, or page 2 on our home version. And we're going to sing Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShorei, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch ni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeischem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now we turn to page 144, or page 2 in our home version, for Hatzi Kaddish. Yiskadal v'yiskadash shemei Rabba, v'yelmo divra kirusei v'yamlich malkusei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedechol beis Yisroel, Bahagolo, uv'izman korim, v'imru, Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach, Leolam leomei omayo, Yisborach, Yisborach, V'yishtabach, V'yispar, V'yisroman, V'yisnaseh, V'yishadar, V'yishaleh, V'yishalo, Shemei D'Kodisha, Berechu, Le'elo, Min Kol Berechoso, V'yishiroso, Tush Bechoso, V'nechemoso, Tahamiram B'yomo, V'yimeru, Amen. Now we turn to page 146, or page 3, and rise for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu es Adonai Hamavora, Baruch Adonai Hamavora, Leolam Voed.
We continue on page 149 in our prayer books, page 3 of the satellite Siddur. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Please join me. Creator of a tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorim Avarim.
Amen. Let's now turn to the middle of page 150 of our prayer book, and we'll read together. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night will we reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our day. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai hamavorim amo Yisroel.
Amen.
Shema Yisroel. Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai echad. Baruch Hashem. Kevod malchuso. Leolam voed. V'ahavto es Adonai Elohecha v'chol 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 nafshecha v'chol miodecha v'hayu harvorim ho'ele osher anochi mitzochayim al levovecha v'shinanto levonecha v'dibarto bom v'shivtecha b'veisecha u'v'lechtecha ba'derech u'sharmtecha u'v'kumecha Uv'shartom leos al yodecha, v'hayu letotofos bein einecha, uv'chatom al mezuzos beisecha, uv'ishorecha, leman tiskeru, v'yosisem es kol mitzvosai, v'chosem kodeshim lelolechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzesis, It's kem eretz Mitzrayim, leos lochem lelohim, ani Adonai Elohechem, ames.
Let's turn to the top of page 157 in our prayer books, page 5 in the satellite Siddur. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. Let's continue together. There is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Okay, there's two ways to sing this song. Linda had a way, and the cantor has a way. The way I used to sing it in the conservative synagogue is a little different. But we'll sing it your way and see how it goes. Mi chomocha bo'elim Adonai, mi chomocha nodeh b'kodesh, nora tehilos osei fele, malachusacho bonei boker, ayom lifnei Moshe u'marim, ze ali onu amaru, Adonai yimloch li'olam voed, Adonai yimloch li'olam voed, v'ne'emar, kipato Adonai es Yaakov, ogelo mimenu hazo mimenu, baruch atah Adonai goel Yisroel. That's the way I learned it back in the days of the flood.
Let's turn to the middle of page 161, bottom of page 5 in the satellite Siddur. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Together, watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours.
And I will continue on page 161 or page 6 for the home version. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisroel. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisroel. Ve'al Yerushalayim ועל כל עמו, ועל ירושלים שלום. ברוך אתה, אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisroel. And continuing with Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisroel es ha-Shabbos lasos es ha-Shabbos letoratam baris olam. Vishamru V'nei Yisrael es ha-Shabbos lasos es ha-Shabbos letoratam baris olam. B'nei Yisrael es ha-malalim. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael es ha-Shabbos lasos es ha-Shabbos letoratam baris olam. Ki sheish yomin oso Adonai es ha-shamayim ve'etz haaretz. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael es ha-Shabbos lasos es ha-Shabbos ledoratam baris olam. Uviom hashvi'i Shabbos v'inofash, Shabbos v'inofash, Shabbos v'inofash. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael es ha-Shabbos lasos es ha-Shabbos ledoratam baris olam.
As we turn to the tefillah, the core of our Shabbat service, I ask you to please rise as we turn to page 164 in our prayer book, page 7 in the satellite Siddur. Either read silently through page 178 or say internally whatever you're feeling at this time. We will come back together once everyone is seated. Please turn to page 179 and follow along silently. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise are you, our eternal one, who blesses our people with peace.
Now we continue on page 180, or no, page 9 on the home version. Oh, say shalom bimrama, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisroel, v'imru imru amen. Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisroel, Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisroel, v'meru amen.
As this Shabbat unfolds, set aside the work, worries, and demands of the week. Enter this sacred time with gratitude for the gift of rest and renewal. May this day remind us that our worth is not measured by what we accomplish, but by the divine image in which we are created. Help us to be present to this moment, to those we love, and to your presence in our lives. We give thanks for the blessings that surround us, seen and unseen, for life, for breath, for family and friends, for moments of joy, and even for the lessons hidden within struggle. May the peace of Shabbat quiet our mind and soften our heart. Where there is tension, bring calm. Where there is fear, bring trust. Where there is weariness, bring restoration. Help us to notice the beauty of creation, to remember that the world is sustained not only by human effort, but by your wisdom and care. May this Sabbath be a source of healing for all who are ill, comfort for all who mourn, strength for those who are burdened, and peace for all Israel and for all humanity. As we rest, may our soul be refreshed. As we reflect, may we grow in compassion, humility, and gratitude. As we welcome Shabbat, may we draw closer to you. Baruch atah Adonai, source of peace and blessing, may the peace of Shabbat fill our home, our heart, and our world. Please turn to the middle of page 371 of your prayer book, page 9 in the satellite Siddur. We recite the Mishaberach prayer to ask God to send healing, strength, and comfort to those who are ill or facing challenges. It is also a way for the community to come together in compassion, hope, and support for one another. This evening, we've been asked for members of our congregation, for Leah Jacobson, Joan Thompson, Bert Thompson, Bert Posner, Larry Satcher, Beth Pavlo, George Cartman, Belle Finfer, Carol Gross, Aaron Alter, Arthur Doxer, June Streisand, and John Reinches. And for friends and extended family, Julia Fitzgerald, Jane Barron, Brandon Ben Sharon, Pete Carochi, Sanda Footlick, Bernie and Barbara Friedrich, Nan Needleman, Tom Boucher, Scott Snyder, Martha Eldridge Stark, Joan Reitke, Mel Freiberg, Paula May Ivor, Howard Rosenblum, Reverend Timothy Navin, Margaret Galvin, Deborah Posner, Arlene Merstein, Ann D'Onofrio, Erwin Shapiro, Lynn Hollander, Harold Hollander, Barbara Kretschmer, Pamela Michael, Elaine Driscoll, Patrick Reedy, Arlene Reinholtz, Sandy Footlick, Leah Rivka Ben Kaya Vega Zorach Mendel. Anybody else have names? Beth? Heather?
Ralph Oppenheim and Estelle Block.
Linda?
Connie Jedrick.
Mary? All right, Jonathan.
So if you turn to page 371 in your prayer books, and we'll do the Mishaberach prayer. Mishaberach Hivosenu Mekor Havracha Limosenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebera imosenu mekor havracha livosenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
I'd like to invite up to do the Motzi and Kiddush, our president, Keith Alter.
The seventh day is consecrated to the eternal God on Sabbath, eternal sign of creation. We remember that we are created in the divine image. We therefore raise a cup in thanksgiving. Let's read together at the top of the page. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei puri hagafen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit and wine. Baruch atah Adonai.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvosav, v'rotzavonu, v'shabas kodsho, v'yachavo uvratzon hinchelonu, zicharon l'maaseh bereshis, ki hu yom tehila lemikroe kodesh, zecher litzios mitzrayim, kivanu v'charto, v'yosanu kidashto, michol ha'amim, v'shabas kodshecho, Biachavo uvratzon hinchaltonu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbos. Amen. L'chaim. Thank you.
Chaim.
Delicious, Thursday.
It's a Thursday?
And now for the cutting of the bread. And even though Bob is not here, is
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
Motzi lechem ben haaretz ve'avon. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who brings forth bread from the earth.
And now it's my pleasure to invite Linda Reinches up to do the Parsha.
Okay, this is the story of Balak and Balaam. Balaam was a non-Israelite prophet known for his ability to bless and curse. Despite his reputation, Balaam is depicted as a complex character who acknowledges the sovereignty of the God of Israel, but is also swayed by material gain. Balak is the king of Moab, who is fearful of the Israelites due to their numbers and their recent conquests. He seeks to protect his kingdom by hiring Balaam to curse the Israelites. Balak sends messengers to Balaam with the request to curse the Israelites, offering him rewards for his services. Balaam initially seeks God's guidance, and God instructs him not to go with men or curse the Israelites, for they are blessed. Balaam's reluctance and God's permission, despite God's initial refusal, Balak persists, sending more distinguished officials with greater promises of reward. Balaam consults God again, and this time God permits him to go, but with the condition that he only speaks what God commands. Balaam arose in the morning and saddled his donkey and went with the princes of Moab. God's anger burned that he was going, and an angel of God stood in the way as an adversary against him. He was riding upon his donkey, and his 2 servants were with him. The donkey saw the angel of God standing in the way, his sword drawn in his hand, and the donkey turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the donkey to turn her into the way. But the angel of God stood in the path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. When the donkey saw the angel of God, she pressed herself to the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he struck her again. When the angel further obstructs the way, forcing the animal to a complete halt, Balaam strikes her a 3rd time. God opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times?" Balaam said to the donkey, "Because you have mocked me. Would there be a sword in my hand, for now I would kill you." The donkey said to Balaam, "Am I not your donkey upon which you have ridden all of your life to this day? Was I ever wont to do so to you?" And he said, "No." Then God opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of God standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed down his head and fell on his face. "Why have you struck your donkey? Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times?" The angel admonishes Balaam, "Behold, I went to waylay you because your path is perverse before me. Had she not turned from me, I would now have slain you and saved her alive. If it is evil in your eyes, I shall return," says the humble Balaam. "Go with the men," says the angel, "but only speak the word that I shall speak to you." Upon arrival, Balak takes Balaam to various high places to view the Israelites, hoping that different vantage points might influence the outcome. However, each time Balaam attempts to curse the Israelites, God puts words of blessings in his mouth instead. The narrative underscores God's absolute control over the affairs of nations and individuals. Despite human intentions, God's purposes prevail, as seen in Balaam's inability to curse those whom God has blessed. The account highlights the irrevocable nature of God's blessing upon Israel. It serves as a testament to God's covenant faithfulness and his protection over his chosen people. Balaam's experience illustrates the tension between the divine calling and human ambition. While Balaam is initially swayed by the promise of reward, he ultimately acknowledges that he can only speak the words God gives him. Balaam delivers a series of oracles, each affirming God's blessing on Israel. The first oracle declares that Israel is a people set apart, not to be cursed. The second oracle emphasizes God's unchanging blessing and protection over Israel. The third oracle speaks of Israel's future prosperity and dominance. Finally, the fourth oracle prophesies the rise of the Star of Jacob, a messianic prophecy. Balaam's final oracle contains a prophecy that is often interpreted as a reference to the coming Messiah, symbolized by the star out of Jacob. Balaam's role as a prophet for hire reflects the ancient Near Eastern practice of divination, where prophets and seers were often consulted by kings for guidance and blessings and curses. The narrative provides insight into the geopolitical tensions between Moab and Israel during the wilderness period, highlighting the fear and hostility that Israel's presence incited among neighboring nations. This account of Balaam and Balak serves as a powerful reminder of God's unassailable will and the end of futility opposing his divine plan.
Thank you, Linda. And now I'd call on our president for some announcements.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Linda, thank you very much. That was fantastic. Welcome, everybody. Worshiping. Oh, turn that thing up. It's blinking. That's a strobe light. worshiping with us tonight and from afar. We have our streaming up and running again. Please stay with us after the services for Oneg Shabbat for some great food and root beer floats. Tonight's Oneg was coordinated by Mitch Brom, Bob Jaws, Heather Greenfield, Barbara Holtz, and Mary Pinto. Our lovely flowers, and they are lovely. Huh? And Beth. Did I say Beth? I'm not taking responsibility. That was not written. And Beth. I should just say you anyway, because it's twice. And Beth. And Beth. Our lovely flowers were donated by Bert and Shirley Posner in memory of Elsie Posner, Bert's mother. Current details of everything going on in congregational life can be found on our website, monthly newsletter, the messenger, and our semi-weekly email notifications we send to our membership. But I'd like to highlight a few areas. The next board meeting is going to be on July 23rd. All are welcome if you'd like to attend at 7 o'clock. The 4th of July barbecue coming up on the 4th of July, next Saturday at 4 p.m. If you're on the island, we'd love you to come by to support us, sharing some fun, food, music. This is not only a congregational event, but for the community. And so far, we have about 31 or so people signed up, which is a record this early for our congregation. So please sign up if you're going to be in the area and tell your friends. Bubby's Bakery is looking for sponsors for the 2027 bake sale. $125 sponsorship. Please submit your check to the office if you're interested and let Melissa know. The 2026-27 Women's Book Club flyer is now available around the building and on the website. On behalf of my wife, Tony Ann, she would like to thank, and I'd like to thank Tony Ann for all the help of the women who painted the windows on Marco Walk for 4th of July. It was Heather, and also if you look in this week's Coastal Breeze, Miss Heather and Miss Tony Ann are in the breeze. And you're in twice. You're on the front page too, I found out, up in the corner. Heather, Melissa, Z, and Sarah. So, no. So go by Marco Walk with the Remax offices in the front right side. You'll see a big Boston scene, and that is from our congregation. The Chess Club meets every Tuesday from 9:30 to 12. See Irv Pavlo. The office is selling Yitzhak candles, Memorial Yitzhak candles. And please, please do not forget to bring in donations of food for the more needy in our community. There's baskets out on the side and the front, or front and the side. And you could also leave a donation in the tzedakah box. And now, as we move to the conclusion of tonight's worship, I invite to the bimah our honorees, and again, Beth and Mary Pinto. Oh, no, Mary's not here.
Yes, she is. I'll go with you, Beth. You want to go in? No.
All right, and standing in for Mary Pinto is Heather. Shabbat Shalom. She's doing the kitchen.
Elena
Can
was
we all
found on
rise,
page
please?
586.
Aleinu l'shabeach li'adon ha'kol, l'seis gedulo li'otzei bereshis, shelo osonu k'riei horotzos, v'lo hosomonu k'mishpachos ha'adama, shalom som helkeinu chochem, v'gahor aleinu k'kol ha'manam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר היום הרמה ונרש על קורץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד Ushemo echad.
Please be seated. Together on this Shabbat, we enter a sacred pause in the rhythm of our week. Shabbat invites us to step away from striving and accomplishment and to remember what endures beyond our work and worries, the holiness of being, the bonds of community, and the presence of the divine. In a few moments, we will recite Kaddish. Though often associated with mourning, Kaddish is at its heart a prayer that magnifies and sanctifies God's name. It is an affirmation that even in the face of loss, uncertainty, and the unfinished nature of our lives, holiness remains present in the world. As we prepare to pray, we may bring to mind those whose memories accompany us today. Parents, grandparents, spouses, siblings, children, friends, teachers, and all those who have shaped our lives. We honor them not only by remembering their absence, but by carrying forth their values, their kindness, their wisdom, and their love. On this day of rest, may we feel connected across generations to those who come before us, to those who stand beside us, and those who will follow after us. May the words of Kaddish lift our hearts towards gratitude, memory, and hope. And may the peace of Shabbat deepen within us together as we proclaim the sanctity that binds heaven and earth. Tonight, we offer Kaddish for those observing Shiva, Shloshim, or Avilut. Rose Blau, Pearl Broder, Leva Heilbrum, Pearl Jasquin, Benjamin Leifer, Maury Lerner, Phyllis Pincus Marco, Sam Miller, Dorothy Passion, Elsie Posner, Edmund Puldliner, Virginia Remnick, Jack Shearer, Joe Simon, Mel Singer, Bertha Gordon Thompson, Aaron Weisberg, and Edith Weiss. Anybody else have prayer? Okay. Please rise for these.
Yiskadal v'yiskadash shemei rabo, v'yolmo divra kirusei v'yamich malkusei, v'chai chon v'yomei chon v'chai d'chol beish Yisrael, ba'agolo v'zman kori v'miru, amen. Yehei shmei rabo mevorach liolam liomei amayo, yisbarak v'yishtabak v'yispar v'yisraman v'yisnasei, v'yisadar v'yisalel v'yisalol shmei d'kudisho berchu, La'elo min kol berchaso v'shirasa, tush berchaso v'nechamosa, da'amiram b'yomar v'yimru, amen. Yehei shlomo rabo min shemayo, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. Osa shalom b'mamra, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen.
May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say,
Amen. Tonight, we're going to close with Ein Kelohenu on page 626 or 12 in the Siddur, home Siddur. Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kimalkenu, Ein Kamoshienu, Mi Kelohenu, Mi Kadonenu, Mi Kimalkenu, Mi Kamoshienu. Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Emalkenu, Nodel Emalkenu, Nodel Moshienu. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atohu Eloheinu, Atohu Adonenu, Atohu Malkeinu, Atohu Moshienu. And there's actually another
Shalom,
verse.
everybody. See you at the Oneg.
Atohu shetiru avoseinu levnecho emchol v'shabbat. By the way, if you happen to notice, when I sing S as S and T's as T's. That's the Hasidic or conservative way of doing it. We did not convert over to making S and T the same. So that's why you'll hear me sing a lot of my songs in with the S instead of the T. There was a page missing somewhere because
I think so. I didn't see one.
you still didn't do Shabbat. For some reason, it's not there. Yeah, you're right. We didn't do Shabbat. And instead of that, I'm gonna have to go back and try to figure out why. I keep looking for it and then it never comes up. So I will do some research.
Just as